Y'all should get one of these. It's called the Black's Law Dictionary, fourth edition. The fourth edition supersedes them all because the fourth edition has the definitions of the words that they use in law. All the other editions you will have to come back to this one to understand what they're saying. So once you get this one, Black's Law Dictionary, fourth edition, then you can understand their terminology in law. You see, they're diabolical with their word game. You know, their words, the things that they write on paper, those things are what really count. You see, they wrote themselves an amendment, a First Amendment right. You see, that's not the Constitution. That's the amendments to the Constitution. So they wrote themselves a right to lie, freedom of speech. You see, they can lie all they want. You see, but the problem comes in with their lies. If their lies interfere with the lives of the American people and the peace treaties that were set forth, then they can be held accountable for their lies, for what they say. You see what I'm saying? But what they write down, they can be held accountable for immediately. You see, immediately. Now, because what they say out of their mouths, you have to prove that it's putting people in harm's way. And yes, when they call you black or African American or anything other than American, they're putting you in harm's way. They're using 1865 black codes against you. Now, according to, I'm pretty sure you probably read this already if you are listening, and you can see American. Now, pertaining to the Western Hemisphere, or in a more restricted sense. You see what they said, a more restricted sense. So they're not actually telling you what American really means. They're telling you what American means in a restricted sense. You see, so they're holding back the truth and giving you a code in a more restricted sense to the United States. See, where it says restricted sense to the United States, it didn't say is the United States. It says a restricted sense to the United States. You see what I'm saying? So now it's even more away from what American really is. You see, now, when you get down here where it says, it was assumed in Life Photo Film Corporation versus Bell, right, that the term American includes all classes of citizens, native and naturalized, irrespective to where they originally came from. You see, irrespective. So that means that, as you can see, what they're saying is all classes, all people that come here, they have to pledge allegiance to America and the republic for which it stands. You see, that's where this comes from when they say, all classes of citizens, native and naturalized. You see, no matter where they come from. You see, because when you come here to this land, you have to pledge allegiance to the people who the land belongs to. And the land belongs to the American people. You see, so you have to pledge allegiance to the American people to be on this land. You see, and you give up your nationality from your homeland. You see, and you become an American. You become an American state citizen. You see, you can't be a United States citizen. As you can see, it says right there, in a more restricted sense, to the United States. You see, in a more restricted sense, to the United. What does American mean? American means the people. We are American. We're not black. We're not African. We are just American. So in a restricted sense to the United States, right? Anyone that comes here, right, is an American. You're born here, you're an American. You're not black, you're not white, you're not African American, you're not Indian, you're not none of that stuff. You're American. Now, the original people of this land are the people that they call black and African American. We are the true American people. You see, and that's why they have two things going on. They have American states and American state citizens. You see, you can't take someone else's nationality. That's just like me going to China and just saying I'm Chinese. Just going to take their nationality. You know what Chinese people look like, so you know I ain't Chinese. You see, but they tricked us into thinking that the American people are those Siberians, those people that they call Indian, Native Americans. They've tricked you into believing that those are the original people of this land, and they're not. You see, that's why those people are on reservations. They have restrictions. On the other hand, we're free. We're not on reservations. We don't have restrictions. You see, we just don't know who we are. You see, in respect to the United States, we don't know who we are. We don't know what's going on this land with the United States. You see, and as you can see, the way these people write this stuff, they know what's going on. So, if it clearly states, right here that all people that are on this land are American, why do they call us black and African? You see, and that's against peace treaties. That's against the Constitution. That's against, the Pledge of Allegiance. That's against all of that. But they say it on TV. You hear politicians saying it. Why do they say it? When clearly, as you can see what an American is. All of us. No one is a color. We're Americans. You see, and until we get to that point of understanding, to let them people know to stop calling us colors, black, white, African American, Puerto Rican, Mexican, all these names other than American, then we are going to keep continually having this problem with these people, with the police, with the politicians, you know, plain and simple. I don't have these problems. You see, it's paperwork you're supposed to do. I did it. So since I'm living it, you can't argue with, an American that's actually living the life that he's supposed to live. You know what I'm saying? Without, being harassed and having to pay to live on his own land. That's insanity. You know what I'm saying? That's straight insanity. I got to pay you to live on my land and you work for me. Oh my God. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. But there it is right there. Now, a lot of y'all gonna say, well, how you get some money? How you pay these bills? And there's another part to this. You don't understand what the United States is. It's a fiduciary company. The United States is a fiduciary company. Yeah. Y'all don't know that though. See that Social Security application? You gave up all your rights. You made them your fiduciaries. You gave them all rights over you when you signed that social contract, that Social Security form. You just didn't know how to fill it out the right way. They know what they're doing. You don't. Yeah, they ain't supposed to have black, white, African, American, all that crazy stuff on that Social Security form. But they do. As you can see right here, we're all Americans. Why they got all these different things on there? Exactly. Make it make sense.